Hey guys, Happy New Year from Vintage Classic Specialists. Today is January 1st, 2025, first day of the new year. So, hope everyone had a great holiday season. I know I did. Missed a lot of work though, so that's why I'm here today on New Year's Day. Pretty quiet. It's the only shop open today here in our building. So, hopefully, everyone else was enjoying their time off. But that having been said, I did travel a lot and take a lot of days off, which again is why I'm here right now. We traveled to San Diego. We were in Alabama at my parents and my wife's parents, respectively. And so, yeah, I missed a lot of time in the shop. And those of you that work for small businesses or own your own small business know that if no one's at the shop, there's no money being made. So that's pretty much why I'm here. So we need to get started up again here and get these projects moving. So why don't we talk about what let me back up a little bit. Let's see what Rafa worked on when I was gone. I haven't seen him honestly, so I can just kind of infer what he did. But it appears that he has made a lot of progress here on the bitchin' 68 buggy. So you see the dash is pretty much totally in, the switches, the gauges. So we spent quite a bit of time talking with the owner, and he spent quite a bit of time doing Google image searches. And collectively, we decided on a dash layout that we're all pretty happy with, which you see here. So there's going to be a small piece of trim here that'll kind of end in a point. And then from here to the other end will be a longer piece that ends in a point. So it'll look very much reminiscent of a Beetle dashboard. So it should look really, really cool. So yeah, that's in, and I don't remember if I showed this before or not. The hood has gone on, and the gas tank, and so yeah, this thing is moving right along. The wiring, I think, was already done as far as the taillights and stuff like that. Looks like there's quite a bit of under dash wiring here that still needs to be done. I'm guessing these gauges and stuff here are probably not hooked up, which I think is what all these wires are here. So kind of a pain on these buggies. You pretty much just have to lay on the floor here on your back and reach up underneath the dash there and wire everything up. Kind of a pain in the ass, but that's how these buggies are built for the most part. I can see why they came out with that dash that actually has that hinged, this area here is hinged and it folds down, because that would allow you to sort of work from, a seated position here through that opening and then just flip everything up. In fact, the other buggy that we have in the shop has one of those here, so you can kind of see the hinge on the bottom of it. So yeah, this whole panel basically flips down, and then there's essentially a big hole there that gives you access. So, but that's a newer thing. This buggy, we wanted to retain the freaking awesome original dash. This is the original dash from this car, which Miguel, who did the paint and body work on this car, also restored the dash, which had some cracks in it, and there was a bunch of holes that we didn't want to use and stuff like that. So yeah, that's pretty much what Rafa works on. I didn't notice that he worked on any other cars, so I think that was probably it. Okay, so now let's talk about what I did today. So started off the day with the 69 EV bug. When I installed the steering wheel before, I had forgot to get a turn signal cancel ring for it. I got one of those. It arrived when I was out of town, so got that out of the mail this morning and installed it. And lo and behold, the turn signals cancel on this car correctly. So pretty happy about that. Sometimes they can be a little fidgety to get to work. The only thing that was a little bit of a pain was the holes in the cancel ring didn't really line up correctly with the aftermarket steering wheel adapter. So I had to drill 3 new holes in the cancel ring to line up with the threaded holes in the steering wheel adapter. So not a huge deal, but it's one of those things that took something that would have been like a 1-minute job of attaching the cancel ring to the adapter and turned it into, like a 15-minute job or something, doing everything very carefully, getting things lined up, making sure the cancel ring was centered, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, it was worth it in the end though, because I took the car on about a 15 or 16 mile drive today. cancel ring's working good. Everything else is working good. Got a pretty good feel for this car. It's pretty quick. Is it as fast as my Red Beetle? No, I don't think there's any way. I think it would. The Red Beetle would destroy this thing, is my feeling, having driven this one quite a bit now. It's still a pretty fast little car, though. Don't get me wrong. The red car is pretty nuts. This one is still pretty beefy, pretty quick little car. Sure, it's faster than most bugs out there, even ones that are hot rodded. So. Yeah, I'm still not sold on EV Beetles. I mean, this is a really cool project. It was great building it, and the owner put a lot of trust into us. But I'm talking more about, for me personally, I'm nowhere near ready to throw out my gasoline engines and convert my cars to EV. It just driving it just doesn't feel right to me in the same way that a gasoline powered car does. But the owner is going to love this car. He's going to have a super good time with it. And again, we took a car that was a complete basket case piece of junk and turned it into this lovely little beast that you see here. So yeah, put 15 or 16 miles on it today, drove it with and without regenerative braking on. Needed to use high gear. So again, it's a 2-speed transmission, low and high. It seems like on this car, now that I've kind of got it out on the road, you pretty much want to shift into high gear at about 45 or 50 miles an hour, which is a little lower than I thought it was going to be. I was actually found myself using it on surface streets that were, like 2 lanes in each direction, where there were, lots of green lights. Found myself dropping it into high gear. Not that it's a big deal, but I thought that low gear was probably going to go closer to 50 to 60 miles an hour. But yeah, I felt like the sound of the motor, the hum of the electric motor and stuff, to me sounded like it needed to be shifted around like 45 miles an hour. So anyway, I think it's just a matter of getting used to the car and what it needs. It's like a gasoline car. You get used to it, and you don't look at the tachometer. A lot of cars don't have it. You just know by the sound of the engine when it needs to be shifted. Kind of same thing with this one. You can tell by the whine of the electric motor that it's getting kind of loud, and it's probably good to shift it. If nothing else, just to quiet it down, because the faster the electric motor spins, the higher or louder the whine of it is. So that probably had to do as much with it as anything. But I will take some videos driving this car around, so don't worry. Before this car leaves our shop, I'll get plenty of video, and I'm going to do a very thorough walk around and show this thing in a lot more detail. So there you go. That'll be coming soon, because hopefully we'll get this car to these people before the end of January. I don't see any reason not. We've got to put a few more miles on it, discharge it a little bit more, go through a charging cycle, just go over the car with a fine-tooth comb, and then I think it's theirs after that. So soon. So I did work on the other 69. These are both 69s today. I didn't seem to have keys for his door handles that came with this car, and the ignition key for this car did not match the door handles. So what I did was, this car we bought new door handles for, because the ones that were with it they were okay, but they weren't great. Not really nice enough for that car, but they're actually pretty nice, and I think that they are nice enough and going to look really good on the Cowlick car. So what I did was I took the handles for this car, which used the same key blank as the ignition key for the red Cowlick car. And so I rekeyed these to work with the ignition key for the Cowlick car. So I will swap these onto the, or I may just swap the cylinder out. We'll see which set of door handles looks best. But the important thing is now I have cylinders for this car which are matched to the ignition key. So one key and it'll fit everything. So kind of cool. And it's fun taking these locks apart and playing around with them and rekeying them anyway. So kind of enjoyed that. So I did that today on that one. The 72 Baja bug, didn't really get a lot done, but I did spend an hour or so going through the one-piece window kit and making a list of all the things that I need, since I use hardly anything out of the kit as far as the window scrapers and stuff. So spent quite a bit of time figuring out what we had and what I needed. I'm going to place an order. Hopefully tomorrow Wolfsburg West is open. I'll place an order for all the stuff I need, and then I should be able to start putting the one-piece windows in the Baja bug. So that'll be good. Another thing that I did is tomorrow, supposedly for real, again, I'm always crossing my fingers here, we will have the fuel injection system in its entirety for the 68 double cab. So today, that being the case, I went ahead and started working on this motor a little bit. And the fuel injection system that's going on here has complete control over the timing advance, but you still do use a distributor to distribute the spark. So there's still, a rotor in here spinning around, and then spark plug wires going out to each plug. It's not like a coil-on plug type deal or anything like that. But anyway, but what you do is you lock out the advance on the distributor, and then the actual timing advance is controlled by the ECU. So disassembled this today and locked it out. It's made to be locked out if you want. The only thing is when you lock it out, it's kind of hard to explain, but those of you that are familiar with Volkswagen distributors will know what I'm talking about. When you lock out the distributor for this, you end up rotating the shaft 180 degrees. And so what that does is it would have put number 1 spark plug here instead of here where it normally is. And it just wasn't really, I don't know, I thought that would be kind of lame. So what I did was when I put the little drive pinion thing on the bottom of the distributor, I rotated it 180 degrees to make up for the fact that the shaft itself was rotated 180 degrees. So in this case, 2 wrongs make a right or whatever, but now number 1 is right here where it should be. The advance mechanism on here is locked out, and so this thing is good to go. And then again, tomorrow, I should be getting all the bits and pieces to put this fuel injection system together. And I'll probably also go by powder coating and finally get the fan shroud. So I'm hoping this motor is going to go together tomorrow. Fuel injection and everything. The only thing I don't have yet is the air conditioner system for it, compressor and brackets and stuff. So I need to get off my duff and get that ordered. But all the fuel injection and all that stuff should be ready to go on tomorrow. What else? I think that is pretty much it for today, guys. Again, Happy New Year to everyone. Hope everyone had a great holiday season, Christmas, New Year's, whatever else you may or may not celebrate. So hopefully 2025 will be a good year here in the shop. 2024 was. We stayed busy, had a lot of cool projects, I think. Lots of variety of what we're doing, from stock restorations, buggies, an EV cowlick car, some hot rod buses here, this double cab and this green one back here. So yeah, lots of fun stuff. So I don't see why 2025 won't be as much fun. So thank you guys for tuning in, and we should see you again tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.